at my house right now, but for some people it can actually be an addiction.
Yeah, the World Health Organization has now classified gaming disorder as a mental health condition. Just this week this happened, and here to talk more about it is our medical expert, Dr. Mandira Mehra from SSM Health. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I think it's interesting just to even think about this in the first place, that gaming, for some people, it's probably something they already knew, but playing video games can actually interfere in all parts of your life if it reaches this level.
Exactly, and so this is not for your average bear that's playing video games a couple hours in the basement or here and there just for fun. So I don't want everyone to kind of think as video gaming, digital or live, as this evil empire, because it's not necessarily. What we're talking about is the people that are addicted, perhaps the children, perhaps the young adults, that at a point it interferes with your life. So despite having negative consequences to playing video games, despite having interference to your everyday life, you continue to play. And so there's a lot of analogies being made here to the World Health Organization between gaming and, for example, gambling or alcohol addiction, smoking, something like that, where they discuss things like, if a gambler were to truly win a large lump sum of money, a normal person that's not addicted would go and maybe buy an airplane or an island. But a gambler that has that addictive personality or disorder is actually going to put that money right back in the game. So it's not even really about the winning. And so the same is true for a gaming addiction, is that it's not just about winning the game, it's you just want to stay in action. And so the positive here with the World Health Organization at least discussing this and talking about the addictive properties is treatment. So the 1 to 10% of children that perhaps are affected by this, we can start treating them appropriately, whether it's cognitive behavioral therapy, medications, just starting to recognize it and affect their lives. Why do we care? We care because as gaming addictions, as addictions like this increase, we see an increase in depression and social anxieties. And so that in turn, of course, affects your everyday life and, of course, your family dynamic.
All linked together.
Yeah, so in my basement probably right now, my son is awake and he's probably building a Lego castle with his little sister. And if he actually has not eaten yet, there's going to be an issue, Dr. Mehra. And my wife, who's watching or might be watching this right now, we all know this. He gets hungry and he gets angry. And it's a thing. It really is a thing, right?
So if you're watching this morning and you're saying, wow, there is that term hangry. We like to use it kind of colloquially in conversation, but it is becoming a real scientific definition. So just like you said, Adam, it's that hunger and that anger together, we call it hangry. It's a real thing. And so what's happening in our bodies is we have that drop in glucose. We haven't eaten in some time. We also have a spike in cortisol and adrenaline. And so these two hormones really spike when we're stressed. What this study showed was very interesting. It's when we're in negative situations and we're hungry and angry, that hanger actually is real and makes you perceive that situation worse and you react worse. So I'll give you a great example. Let's say you're heading home from work, you haven't eaten in some hours, and suddenly somebody cuts you off. So here's a negative situation and you're hangry. It's not a good combination. So we want to leave
you get road rage.
You get road rage, and you're going to react differently, and versus having a full stomach and not being hungry, not having that cortisol adrenaline spike. So we, of course, want to leave the viewers with some good tips. First is really be aware. So be aware of the fact that you haven't eaten in a few hours. The amazing thing about this is we've always known our emotional state affects our physical. So we know if we're sad, that's going to affect the physical. We're saying the reverse is true here, is that our physical state of actually being hungry will affect our emotions. And that's what's so amazing about studies like this. And we can actually take that into account and say we have to be aware, we have to eat things that suppress our appetite that are healthy. So the healthy Greek yogurts, the avocados, the different types of grains, really being aware of that will help us from kind of hulking out like those Snickers commercials.
And to let our viewers know, Dr. Mehra did eat a yogurt before she came here this morning.
I ate before I came in, so I'm happy. At work they have the Snickers poster on my door. So.
It's good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Appreciate
Thanks for coming in. All right, your time right now is 6:17 and